You're ready to run your first Dungeons & Dragons adventure. That's what we're going to explore in this vlog. We're going to look at the three primary areas. Three very, very important things that if you can keep these points in mind, if you can leverage, if you can utilize these points, you are going to have an amazing first session. And I want to capture that uniqueness. As a dungeon master, there's a lot of responsibility. It can feel like that. You're here to tell the story. You're here to resolve the story. You're here to make sure that your players are heard and they contribute. You're resolving the rules. You're figuring things out. At the same time, you're trying to have fun. Never forget that you're also a player in this game. You're also a player. You need to have a good time as a dungeon master. And what we're looking to do, I call it the vision and the voice. This idea of you as an individual, your uniqueness, your creativity, bringing that passion, bringing that ability literally to the table, whether it's physical tabletop or virtual, to be able to bring that, to unleash that. When that happens, it is an amazing session. So let's look at 3 points to keep in mind, to help navigate, to get you ready for your first adventure. The first and the most important is to realize that as a dungeon master, you can't make a mistake. You can't get something wrong. You are there to facilitate the game. So if there's a rule you don't understand, leave it out. If there's an ability that a player wants to use or you want to use, if you're running an encounter as a monster and you're not quite sure how it interacts, then make a decision. Figure it out. Figure it out as in just make a decision with how you want to utilize it. A great example was a recent game. Now, this is a very, it's currently a hot adventure, hot module. A lot of DMs are running it, very popular. So I'm going to be talking kind of briefly about a very specific point, but I'm going to leave out names because I want to be aware and not give away any spoilers. I was playing this as a player. I'm playing my Barbarian. He's a gnoll. Fang Snarl the Gnoll. And his backstory for a moment here is to jump into that role play. Lawful evil gnoll, and he's doing those gnoll things, raiding caravans. He attacks a caravan. A wizard fights back, kills him, resurrects him, and now puts a change alignment on him in a quest to discover what is good. So essentially he goes from lawful evil barbarian to lawful good barbarian, or I should say chaotic evil type barbarian to chaotic good. So he's going around now trying to do the right thing, but he realizes he's still a gnoll, and there's certain expectations that are put on him. It makes kind of things interesting with the party, but he tends to also approach situations as a gnoll, but he's looking to do the right thing. So we're playing this adventure where we're in an underground cave, some ruins. There's an inlet from the sea outside. This is why as a DM, remember, you can never make a mistake. There's only making a decision. No mistakes, only decision, and have your decision be fun. Be fun for you and for the other players. So we're in this kind of underground cave. There's an inlet for the sea. There's these two huge metal doors. Can't find any way in. You know, the rogue has checked it out, did the detect magic thing. We searched for illusions. We took advantage, everything, assistance, and just nothing. There's 3 chests about 10 feet out in the water. Water's kind of murky, not a lot of light. Make some perception checks, make some spot rolls, kind of nothing from the DM. Okay, well, I'm not going to meta play it, but come on, 3 chests out there in the water, like something's going down, right? They're just not going to be sitting there. We didn't see anything. We didn't find anything. We don't necessarily know anything, but what are you going to do? We got to get the loot, right? You can't put 3 chests out there and not expect us to figure things out. So, okay, we got to get in and out fast. The rogue's going to check out 1 chest, so we're going to do that. We're going to send the cleric and the fighter. They're going to go for the 2nd chest and try to move it. Fang Snarl, because he's the strongest, 8-foot gnoll, 19 plus strength. He's just going to smash the chest, the 3rd chest, grab whatever he can. So we go in, and we get ambushed, or I should say attacked, by giant sharks. We missed the perception in the spot. There were sharks kind of circling. They went to attack. We grabbed some loot. We jump out. Okay. As that's happening, so, and we got lucky, right? We made some good rolls, some dexterity checks. Armor class, I guess, was high enough, even though we got caught flat-footed and all that stuff. We didn't get chomped on. We're out. We got some loot. We're trying to figure out, what do we do from here? The door starts opening. The door starts opening. It's a metallic door. Now, Fang Snarl's pissed because, first of all, he's never seen a shark before. This thing tried to eat him, okay? It's swimming around there. He's not happy about it. The door's opening. In this moment, as a player, I'm like, I'm going to try and like really play my character, and we're going to get a little nuts here. So I say to the DM, I want to grapple one of the sharks. I want to go back into the water. He's like, wait, what? You want to go back into the water where there's like 6 or 7 sharks adjusted for your challenge rating? And these aren't like baby cake sharks. They're like massive, like Jaws type sharks. They're big. I'm like, yeah, I want to go back in. I want to punch one of those sharks. Actually, I'm like, I want to make an unarmed attack, and I want to headbutt one of those sharks just for the audacity of trying to bite me, to eat me. Then I want to grapple one of those sharks, and successful grapple check, when that door opens, I want to charge in with the shark, like chomping to try and attack whatever's there. I could see the DM's like, how do we even resolve this? Like, this is kind of crazy and unexpected, and it's not in the adventure notes. What are we going to do? So I say this to illustrate, as a DM, players want to do crazy things, inspired things, creative things. Absolutely go with it. Figure out the rule, or if you can't figure out the rule, or you're not sure of the rule, or one doesn't exist, roll a d20. Give it a DC and roll a d20. And kind of always make the DC a little bit adjusted, so the players might be successful with their ideas, because that collaborates into storytelling. So that's the first thing. As the DM, you can never make a mistake. You can never make the wrong call. Figure out the rule, assign a rule, adjust a rule, make a decision. Don't get paralyzed with like, what do I do? Where do I go? How does this happen? Play that. What happened is I went in, I headbutted the shark, I grabbed the shark, I made the grapple check. The shark attacked me and missed. I picked the shark up, made another grapple check because it was trying to break free. Shark is now under my arm, right? Mouth side out, chomping at anything. Door opens. I won't say what the minions or the encounters were because I don't want to give that away, but let's just say there was about 12 of them, and I don't know what surprised them more. An 8-foot gnoll. Right, Fang Snarl just gets bigger every telling of the story. He's like 7 feet, 8 feet, 9 feet, hill giant size. But what surprised them more was a gnoll barking and screaming, running at them, or the fact that he had a great white shark jaws tucked under his arms that he was like improvised weapon and attacking. You never know. So that's the first thing. The second thing, if it's possible, before the adventure, before you run it, and this would equally be a module that maybe you're inspired to play, one of the existing modules, or maybe it's an adventure that you've written yourself in that moment. Take some time before the game to just kind of look through it. Not to memorize it, not to know everything, but to kind of get an idea of, okay, what am I going to run? What are the encounters like? Are there any points in the module that might have some special rules or some monsters that have some abilities that I might need to look up and kind of get an idea ahead of time? When I do this, if it's a bigger module, I'll just kind of like put one of those sticky notes or whatever in the monster manual in case I have to look something up, in the DMG if there's something to resolve, just to give myself a little confidence to know that, hey, if they make it to these areas, because you never know if the players will or will not, then there's opportunities there to look it up. And I don't have to feel like in the moment creating stress where it's like, uh-oh, the players want to do what? And here I am. The third piece, as a DM, you're also a player. There's a lot to focus on. There's a lot in that statement. But I would put this as the easiest way to have fun as a player, as a DM, as both a player and a DM. When there is an encounter, role play the monsters. Role play the encounter. A lot of DMs look at it as an encounter as like a mathematical computation. Okay, roll for initiative. There's 10 monsters, 8 hit points each. They attack with this, almost like they're just like dice moving around on the table, stat blocks. You can do that. But what about throwing in some role-playing and having some fun with it? How would the monsters react? Have them taunt the players. Have them taunt the players. Have them encourage each other. Have them work together as a team. Have them make tactical decisions based on their intelligence or based on their level of understanding. Have them work together. Don't just charge the monsters forward. Maybe have them hide behind things and throw spears and shoot crossbows. Or maybe have them run away and reposition or regroup. Have some fun with that encounter. If there's kind of a leader or a lieutenant, have them issue orders. Have them kind of talk to the players and taunt the players. Get into it. Have some fun. Roll some dice. Enjoy each encounter. By inserting yourself into the game, your personality, your vision, your voice, you're going to have fun. That's going to cycle and feedback to running a great adventure that everyone enjoys, as opposed to you're just kind of reading from the module and you're rolling D20s and you're just recording stuff. That's okay, but are we getting the most out of D&D? So I want to say those 3 things will help you navigate your first adventure, your first quest, your first time as a DM. And of course, we're going to continue on the channel here looking to be the best DM and the best player that we can. And we're going to continue to build that toolkit as both a player and as a DM. And you have your first tool in your D&D DM toolkit.